All right, hey guys, welcome back today. Today we're going to be talking about areas of all sorts of figures and then a review of perimeter. So it really should be a pretty simple day because you've been finding area of figures for quite a while. Um, these two postulates up at the top just help justify area formulas. So um, this is the area congruence postulate. It says if two polygons are congruent, then their areas are the same. And then the other postulate says that if you add up parts of the area, then the sum is the area of the non-overlapping parts. So it says you can add up areas to get the total area of a weird shaped figure. So here are some area formulas in case you don't remember them. The area of a square is its side length squared because all of the sides are the same. It's the same as a rectangle. It's base times height, but since the sides are the same, they just say it's side squared. So a rectangle is base times height. A parallelogram is also base times height. The base and the height have to be perpendicular to each other, and then the base does not necessarily have to be on the bottom. It can be whatever side. Just the base and the height have to be perpendicular to each other. And then area of a triangle is similar. It is 1/2 the base times the height. Or the other way you can do this formula, if it's convenient for you, is base times height divided by 2. Either one, it's the same thing, right? And then down here it just says the same thing. The base of a parallelogram or triangle can be any of its sides. The base and the height just have to be perpendicular. Okay, so there's the formulas that we're going to be using. Now we're just going to apply them. It says find the area of each parallelogram. So remember, area of a parallelogram is base times height. The base and the height have to be perpendicular. So you'll notice they give you 3 sides here. You just need to figure out which ones are perpendicular to each other. So looks like 5 and 4 are the ones that are perpendicular. So the area is going to be 20 square inches. Remember, area is always a square unit of measurement. Perimeter is a linear measurement, so it is not squared. On this next one, again, they give you 3 sides. You have to figure out which ones are perpendicular to each other. You'll notice on this one, the 3.5 is outside of the parallelogram because if it were inside of the parallelogram, it wouldn't actually meet up with the base, but it's still the height. 3.5 is the height, 2 is the base. So the area, we would multiply 2 times 3.5 gives us an area of 7 square centimeters. So like I said, this is going to be a pretty easy section today. Area of the triangle in square inches. So notice that and then look at what they give you. Some of them are not in inches. So if this is 1 foot, you'd want to convert that to 12 inches. And this one, 1 foot, 1 inch is 13 inches. Okay, so area of a triangle is base times height divided by 2, or 1/2 base times height, whichever formula you want to use. So which one's the base and the height? The ones that are perpendicular to each other, so that would be these 2 sides. So my formula would be 5 times 12 divided by 2. Now here's what I like about this formula. You can go about it 2 different ways. You can do 5 times 12, then divide it by 2, or you can reduce, which is what I like to do. I would reduce the 2 and the 12 to make that a 6, which gives me 5 times 6. The area is 30 square inches. Down here, find the perimeter of each irregular shape. So remember, perimeter is add all outside edges. So if it's missing an outside edge, you need to fill it in. So notice the whole bottom of this shape is 15. That part of the shape is 9. So if 15 is the whole way, then this would have to be 6 because 9 and 6 make 15. And then similarly, the whole left side is 10. We have 7 of it right there. That leaves us with 3 there. So that's how you could figure out missing sides. Or if this were me, I would just say if this whole side is 15, this whole side is 15. And if this whole side is 10, then that whole side is 10. And then all I really have to do is add up these ones because it's the same as 9 and 6 and 7 and 3. So I've got 10, 10, 15, and 15. So that's 30, 40, 50 feet is the perimeter. Same with this one. The whole side is 20, so this whole side, I don't even care what that piece is, or is 20, or what this piece is. It doesn't matter. If this whole side is 31, this whole side is 31, right? It doesn't really matter what that is. And then all I have to do is add 20 and 20 is 40, 31 and 31 is 62. Put those together, you have 102 meters. Now with area of the irregular shapes, the missing pieces definitely matter. Because what you have to do is you have to break it into two shapes that you can find the area of. And then you'll just add those two areas together. So it looks like I already have the length and the width of the bottom rectangle. So that area, 5 times 12, is 60. This one, I know the length is 4, but I don't know the width. So this is where these numbers come into play. If this whole side is 8 feet, and that from there to there is 5 feet, that means up there is 3 feet. So then it's apparent that this area is 12. So if the area of this rectangle is 60, the area of that rectangle is 12, the total area is 72 square feet. Now you could have broken down your triangle this way, or the shape this way too, and then this area would be smaller, that area would get bigger, but you'd still get the same answer. So either way, just pick a point, either go horizontally or vertically, and you'll get the same answer. This time, let's see, I'll break it like this. I'll go up this time. And you just got to find missing pieces. So I know this is a square 18 by 18. I don't know what 18 times 18 is. Let me type it into my calculator real quick. It is 324 for that piece. And then the other one we have to find, we know the width is 12, but the length, if the whole thing is 24 and there's 18 of it down there, leaves you with 6 there, so that'd be an area of 72. Add them together, and you have 396 square meters. All right. The last page is a couple more shapes that you probably haven't seen the areas of before. So the area of a trapezoid is 1/2 the height times the two parallel sides added together, the two bases added together. So you add the bases together, multiply it by the height, and then divide it by 2. And then a rhombus or a kite, their areas are 1/2 the two diagonals multiplied to each other. So you multiply the two diagonals, take half of that, and there's your areas. So we're going to apply those down here, and it says, what is the approximate area of the state of Nevada? So round to the nearest 100 square miles. So what shape is this? If you put it this way, it looks awfully like a trapezoid. So we're going to say that Nevada is a trapezoid. So we'll use its formula. The area of a trapezoid is 1/2 the height times the two bases added together. So you have to think about it. What are the bases of Nevada? The bases are the two parallel sides. These are the two sides that are parallel, right? That side is the height. So we fill in the numbers. 1/2 of 309 times the two bases added together. 205 plus 511. So we probably want to add those together first. That would be 716. And then instead of taking half of 309, I'm going to take half of 716 because it's an even number. So half of 716 is 358. And then I have to multiply that to 309. So let's see, 309 times 358 is 110,000 622. And then it asks us to round to the nearest 100 square miles. So we look at the 2. Is the 2 round the 6 up? No, it's 4 or lower, so it's 110,600 square miles. Okay. Down here, just some more figures. Find each area. So you'll notice on this one, they've got it broken down into a triangle and a rectangle. So this is a trapezoid. But notice we're not given the height. So we don't have the height. But you do notice that we have a 45-degree angle. So you're going to look in there, and that's a 45, 45, 90 triangle. Hopefully you remember that in a 45, 45, 90 triangle, the two legs are congruent. So if this leg is 2, that leg is also 2, which means the height of the trapezoid is also 2. And then we just fill it in the formula. 1/2 the height times the 2 bases added together. So 1/2 of 2 times the 2 bases added together, 5 and 7. What's half of 2? 1. 5 plus 7 is 12, so it looks like it has an area of 12 square meters. And then the next trapezoid is again similar, but they don't break it down for you. That is a 60-degree angle, so that means this is a 30, 60, 90 triangle. This piece right here is 2, because if we take the 5 from the whole 7, right? So do you remember in a 30, 60, 90 triangle how that works? The short leg is half of the hypotenuse. So the hypotenuse would be 4, but that doesn't help us. We're looking for the long leg. The long leg is the short leg times the square root of 3, which gives us kind of a gross thing, but we can work with it. So again, I write down the formula when I use it. That way I memorize it quicker. And then I fill in the numbers. So 1/2 of the height, which is 2 square roots of 3, times the 2 bases added together, 7 and 5 once again. So half of 2 square roots of 2, or 3, I mean, the 2's would cancel. So I'd have 5, the square root of 3 times 12, which is just 12 square roots of 3. So that area, it'd be 12 square roots of 3 square meters. If they asked you to round it to the nearest whatever, you would, in your calculator type in 12 times the square root of 3 and round it to whatever you needed to round it to. The last two are, it looks like we have a kite. And so kites or rhombuses, the formula is the same. It's 1/2 the 2 diagonals times each other. So 1/2, one of the diagonals has a total length of 6. One of the diagonals has a total length of 7. So half of 6 is 3. 3 times 7. This would be an area of 21 square meters. And this one we have a kite with diagonals that are 12 and 9. So again, formula is 1/2 the 2 diagonals times each other. So that'd be half of 12 and 9. Half of 12 is 6. 6 times 9 is 54 square inches. So there you go. It's just a bunch of formulas and applying those formulas. And make sure you remember those formulas. If you need any help with any of the problems, reach out to me and we'll get it figured out. Have a great day. See you later. See you soon.